Let's pray. Our mighty God, who is in your wisdom and goodness, have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. Crack.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
No communication. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
No petitions. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable members, we have 5 papers. That is number 1, the report of Auditor General on Nakuru County Teaching and Referral Hospital for the year ended 30th June, to be led by the Majority Leader, Honorable William Mutai.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers. That pursuant to Section 50, Section 1 of Public Audit Act 2015, I beg to lay the report of the Auditor General on Nakuru County and Teaching and Referral Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024. Honorable Speaker, number 2, the report of the Auditor General on Langalanga Sub-County Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024. The third one, the report of the Auditor General on Elbagon Sub-County Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024. The fourth one, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the report of the Auditor General on Molo Sub-County Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay a paper pursuant to Section 51 of the Public Audit Act 20. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the paper pursuant to Section 51 of the Public Act 2015 on the status reports on the implementation of the Nakuru County Climate Change Action Plan 2024-2025. I beg to lay.
Thank you, the Majority Leader. I commit all the 5 papers to the Park Committee. Chairman, Park. So let me make some clarifications. Paper number 1 to number 4, I commit them to the Park Committee. Chairman Park, Vice Chair, any member, Park Committee. Kindly take note, Honorable Ben Kirui.
Noted.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
So the last paper on the status report on the implementation of the Nakuru County Climate Change Action Plan 2024-2025, committed to the Environment Committee. The Chairman, Environment, Vice Chair, any member. Honorable Gatuso, kindly take note. Thank you.
Well noted, Chair.
Thank you. Crack.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
No notice of motion.
Order number 7, statements.
No statements.
Order number 8, motion.
No motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to stand on a point of order.
Yes, Honorable Alex.
I wish to stand on a point of order, number 36, on matters of county importance, Mr. Speaker. And the matter concerns the status of some roads that have seen circulating online demonstrations happening. And Mr. Speaker, I had come to your office 2 hours before, and I've seen some demonstrations happening in Kuresoi and some other parts of the county, and I think that is worth a discussion within this House, Mr. Speaker. Number 36.
So, I know, Honorable Alex, give me a minute. I do some consultation here. So, order number 36, Honorable Alex. At least, I would have received a letter two hours before, and in my desk there is no such a letter.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think I didn't know which speaker will be within the assembly, so I've been looking for our speaker until I've seen you seated there, Mr. Speaker.
So that is not an official communication. Honorable Alex, you are out of order. Honorable Paranga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really appreciate the concerns of Honorable Member, Honorable Alex. But again, when you clarify that this is a house of rules and procedures that must be adhered to, he must have put in written 2 hours before. And again, if it doesn't matter who the speaker of the day will be, the standing order requires that that particular document ought to have been presented to the clerk and presented to the speaker. So that is null and void. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, that particular county importance matter on standing order number 36 must also be supported by at least 10 members. I expect that if that will have been mentioned, I will have expected to see some members abstaining. And for that reason, Mr. Speaker, I wish that the standing orders be upheld and we move forward, because it
Mr.
doesn't meet
Speaker,
the
sir,
threshold.
I think you just put it to question and more than 15 members will rise, Mr. Speaker.
So this is the House of Rules. I said starting number 36, part 2. You are supposed to give us a letter. Order.
Honorable
The majority.
Speaker, there are matters that are urgent also.
So there is no order.
Honorable Speaker, there are matters that are urgent.
Order, Honorable
Now,
Mariah.
when fire comes, do you want us to just write a letter and wait for 2 hours?
Order.
Speaker?
This is a House of Rules. This is a House of Rules. Yes. Clerk, next order.
But Honorable
Mr. Speaker, order number 1. Mr. Speaker, the primacy of our standing orders is actually domiciled at order number 1. And whenever the members feel that there are certain urgent matters that ought to be deliberated, Mr. Speaker, you have that latitude, or you have that liberty to invoke order number 1. Mr. Speaker, currently, if you look at what is happening around the county, and currently, if the members are arriving here, they are not going to do anything, Mr. Speaker, I would request, Mr. Speaker, that you invoke order number 1 so that these members can be able even to deliberate on these matters, and so that we can have the way forward, Mr. Speaker, so that even the Roads Committee can be given some roles to go and expedite the process of procurement so that we can rescue Wanjiko in our county. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, we do beseech, or we do request you that you find it in your discretion, because that order gives you the discretion to determine the kind of the business that can be tabled before this House. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I would wish that you look at that matter rather than allowing these members just walk away without even deliberating any substantive business, and yet Wanjiko is suffering. Therefore, I plead with you, kindly invoke order number 1.
So, yes, before I make a ruling, Honorable Langat.
First of all, I sympathize with the situation that our members have actually done. Mine is not really to negate, but I think it is to Mr. Speaker, I was saying mine is actually to try and protect the House, because we all agree that this is a House of laws and order. I wanted to read the standing order number 1. Of course, it talks about cases that are not clearly available. They are not identified within the standing orders. You cannot quote it anywhere. There is no provision. So that we may not be able to misuse the standing order number 1, it does not give us authority to use it when you already have a standing order or an order that has already been given. So in this case, what my colleague is saying, I say, and with all respect, we agree that the matter is grievous, but standing order in this case will not apply because we have the order that he has already quoted in place. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, so that we can be able to move forward in the act of protecting the dignity and the respect of the House, the Speaker rose and actually made an order. So once an order has already been made by the Speaker, so that we
You see, our people are hacking the mini.
Honorable Alex.
So, in my own very honest view, we agree, we sympathize. We agree it ought to have come in 2 hours because it's provided for. And thirdly, also the Speaker, you have already made a ruling. Because once you make a ruling, Mr. Speaker, and you continue to encourage the debate, I want to believe the office and the powers of the speakers will continue being usurped and will not be able to be moving forward because you already made a ruling. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, just
Mr.
like
Speaker.
clarification.
Order.
The demos are happening right now, not 2 hours ago.
Mr. Speaker.
Order. Honorable Alex.
Mr. Speaker, just to, if you allow me, just to read so that we are in tandem. The standing order number 1 that our honorable member has requested you to invoke so that we move in tandem to that. It states like this: in all cases not here in or here in after, provided for are the subject to the Constitution and other written laws, the Speaker shall decide having regard to the orders of the Assembly. Mr. Speaker, on that particular provision of the standing order, this is among the statutes or the laws that is provided for. So then, therefore, unless and otherwise, this is provided for under the same standing order he has mentioned about that 6. So this then does not fall under this particular clause for you to invoke that, because it is herein provided by the standing order and the Constitution. And so, Mr. Speaker, you have to adhere to the rules of the House, and we sympathize by that, but that particular clause provides that this particular matter is being provided for in the standing orders. That
point of information, Mr. Speaker.
So, order, Honorable Member from Elbagon.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to inform the House. The honorable member who invoked or brought this matter said these are urgent matters. And the urgent matters are not provided for in our standing orders, Mr. Speaker. And if the member has in any way or have gone through the standing orders, let him tell us where the standing orders provide on the issues or how we are supposed to handle urgent matters that can happen in our county, Mr. Speaker. That's why, Mr. Speaker, I said, through your discretion, the primacy or the superiority of that standing order number 1 allows us and gives you that latitude to decide. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, and he also said that you have that discretion so that the members can deliberate on this matter and perhaps provide even the business to the Lords Committee so that from tomorrow, maybe, Mr. Speaker, rather than them retiring and going to their course of their homes, they can proceed to have those demonstrations are happening, Mr. Speaker, so that we can be able to rescue Wanjiku.
So,
point of information at saying, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Palanga.
You see,
So, as I had earlier indicated, I will invoke standing order number 36, that there was to be a communication 2 hours prior to the debate. So this is not the last day in our assembly. We have next week, so you are going to raise that next week. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, those are the orders of the evening session.
This order. Order. This House stands adjourned till Tuesday next week, 9:30 a.m.
Speaker.